Never know what it was, because Colette certainly went to school that night, so therefore it wasn't something that was continuously going on. I don't think because otherwise she wouldn't have gone to school. It has been, he did testify, and it has been proven that she did have a cordial when she came home, which also would tend to show that up until that point things were all right. Not that Colette drank, she did, she had a drink or two, but nobody sits and has a cordial if you're in an unpleasant situation. You might have a stiff drink, but you would not normally sip on a cordial if you're in the middle of a heated fight. I don't think we'll ever know.
Done 4 years after the 1970 occurrences was to quote, rework, end quote, the old evidence. Essentially what they did was they asked someone in the FBI laboratory to agree with the Army laboratory. This FBI laboratory did agree with the Army laboratory, and they then said it was new evidence. In fact, there's no new evidence, and that is a misrepresentation of fact that they have presented to us.
The cloud of the murder indictment. Mm-hmm. And actually, I guess it should go back, well, the indictment goes back, me talking for the sake of the editing, but...
A dogged pursuer of myself, causes for that, some of them emotional, some of them medical, and he now has become... I think it's an extremely difficult question for me to answer. I think that the answer really has several parts to it. I think that the record bears me out that this case looks like instant fame to prosecutors. And as the case is passed from hand to hand, it's constantly brought up at every level without any change in the facts. And it's important everyone understands that. There's never been a change in the facts. But yet each prosecutor, as he gets it, makes his dogged or determined effort to get this case on the front page again. So I think that's part of it. I think there's another part, and that is very simply, it's like Congress. Once the machinery of a major government bureaucracy is set in motion, it's much more difficult to stop it. And once the Army investigators were determined in 1971 to reinvestigate, they then spent a year solidifying their previous position, trying to clear up, quote, discrepancies, end quote, and then re-prosecuting based on the same evidence. But third of all, I think that we can't...
Easier for you to have had this case go to trial on the indictment and go on and have the evidence laid out, the jury listen to it, and then a clean-cut verdict.
Gate the effect of my father-in-law, who...
Are you all set?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just a wide shot. No, just
okay, just to get some editing?
Wide shot.
Let me sure my machine's running here. It's for our radio. Okay. And this, what we'll probably do, in the East, it's...
Neither of them ever were tight in their lives.
Yeah. Huh.
They didn't drink at all, just hold the glass when they were in a party. And
A brilliant boy. I mean, you know, we're hearing, and that is matching the ice pick absolutely cuts him down to nowhere.
Okay, hold it just a second. Yeah.
Opinion, of course, and my attorneys would disagree, I think, most vehemently with this. From my personal viewpoint, there's no question that would have been a better thing for my life. It would have been much easier. The weight would not have been there. The legal machinery that is built up around me would have been dissipated. The financial situation would have been different, and my personal life would have been extremely different if this had been clarified by a trial in a civilian court much earlier. There's no question.
The Justice Department, in their brief that they filed in your case in trying to get the indictment reinstated, claimed that just prior to the grand jury
Work here at this hospital. So it is an all-consuming thing, and I'm hoping that the resolution of the case at the Supreme Court level will lift at least that part of it.
Do you think someone is after you? Why has the Justice Department and the federal officials so doggedly pursued this case? Do you think it is a personal vendetta against you?
I think that that answer is triage you should pick up by the end of 25 minutes. I'll repeat them 3 or 4 times throughout the lecture, and they'll be very clear by the end of the lecture. In looking at the audience and finding out that it's sort of a mixed medical and non- I go through the slides or how fast I talk. The principles of field slides on. Is it possible to rapidly through some slides? Since you just had lunch, I'm sure that you'll be pleased. We'll be zipping rather rapidly through some of the slides. Was a possibility of convictions. I think now the waters are so muddied with the passage of time and by them trying to prosecute me that it's going to be unbelievably difficult, even with a confession, because the government
My friends from sunny North Carolina.
Okay, Mr. Siegel.